Hi YouTubers, this is take two. I just did this video and at the very end accidentally showed an address and it wasn't mine, so I decided to redo it. I am making some envelopes for these cards that I made. I made 8 of these, and there's a few of them I need to mail, and I know I can just get a special envelope, but I wanted to make some, and what I will do once I get these done is, and take them to the post office, I will ask them to, I will pay for postage to have them hand canceled. I think it's called hand canceled. So in other words, they're going to take my cards, and instead of running them through the machine to cancel the postage, they will do it by hand. And it's maybe a quarter more. It's not a lot, and so I will do that for the few cards that I am going to mail. But I wanted to make a matching envelope, and I found some paper. Here's the envelope that I made, and with the seal, and I'll tell you about that. But this is the front of the envelope, and the first one I made, this is Pebbles paper. It's called Mini Black Dot, and I got it in a package from Tuesday Morning of 25 sheets. And so, but the first one I did, I want to show you the first one I did. Well, the first one I did turned out fine, but then the second one I did, these dots were all they weren't running horizontally on the envelope. They were crooked, and I didn't like that. The dots aren't square, so the sides aren't going to be, but I wanted at least the horizontal ones to go even with the pattern on the paper, even with the side of the envelope, if that makes sense, with the bottom of the envelope. So I thought, you know what, I can figure this out, and I did figure out a way to change the look of the envelope on the pattern paper by just doing some simple cuts. This is what worked for my paper. It's not necessarily what's going to work for your paper, but if you have paper that has stripes or a one-way pattern, I just want you to know, if you do a little bit of jiggling, you can make it work. Okay, so what I did is here's the 12 by 12 paper, and I'm just going to take a sliver off of it. Okay, and what works for this paper is I line up, and you can't see it, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm lining up the bottom corner down here with where the cutting blade is going to cut, the trough it's going to cut, and the top for this paper, what has worked for me to get it on the straight is I'm lining it up with the edge of the silver sticker that's on here. It's just over 3/4 of an inch on my cutter with this paper, and then you're just going to cut it. Okay, and then you're going to come out with this sliver. Okay, and you're just going to throw that away. Okay, then I'm going to rotate the paper counterclockwise. I am going to line the bottom of the paper along the guide, so up along the guide that gets you a straight cut, and this is the cut edge that I just cut that is down here. Okay, so I'm just changing the paper a little bit. Okay, and then once it's lined up, then I'm just going to cut it, and then I'm going to rotate it counterclockwise again, line it up again, and all I'm doing right now is lining it up with the bottom guide. Okay, so that I'm making it square again, because my first cut made it unsquare. Now I'm squaring it up again. Okay, so after I've done 4 sides, I've got a square again. It's just a little bit smaller than a 12 by 12. For this envelope that I'm doing, I need an 8.5 inch square. So now I'm going to cut this to 8.5 inches. I'm going to have lots of little leftovers of black polka dot, but I will use them on something. Oops, didn't quite get it all the way. Okay, so now I have an 8.5 inch square. And I am done with my cutter. And I'm going to bring in my envelope punch board. Okay, and there's one other little trick that I learned, because the first one I did worked out fine, and the second one I did the same, and it didn't work out fine. So what I found is I'm going to, this is an A2 card, and I'm making it just a little bit bigger, the envelope a little bit bigger than a standard A2, because to allow for the bulk of the flower, and it slides right in, and as long as I'm going to secure it well, it's gonna ship fine. They're sturdy flowers, and I'm not worried, and it's nice heavy paper. So I'm going to line it up at 3 3/4, and then I'm going to, and sorry, I'm going to have to tip it up a little bit. I'm left-handed, and I have to do it this way. And I'm going to take my scoring tool, and very lightly I am going to run it along the trough, the scoring trough, whatever you want to call it. And when I run it along the trough, it is running right along a row of circles on my pattern paper. This is the first score I need to make. If I turn the paper a quarter turn and do the same thing, line it up at 3 3/4 and run it along the trough, it's not running along a row of dots. So you just need to, if it doesn't work one way, turn it just a quarter turn and do it the other way, and it should work out just fine. Okay, you have to do some experimenting. Okay, so I've already scored this. I need to punch it. Okay, and now from now on you don't need to worry about anything. You're just going to do your normal, follow your score lines, and punch and score. It's hard to see on this paper. It's hard to see your score lines. Sometimes that happens. Plus I'm at a different angle than I usually am. So once you figure this out, it's really not hard. And that's one thing that's nice about the 25-page paper pack that you can get at Tuesday morning. Now I'm not going to take a minute in this video to punch the to round the corners. I'll do that off camera. Okay, so what you find now is when you fold this, this is the long straight edge of the bottom of the envelope. It's right along the row of dots, and I feel much better about that. The sides are still not, just because of the way the pattern is, the sides aren't, but I'm happy that the bottom is, the horizontal one's right. And I'm just going to put the return address, or the address, on here and tape it on and mail it this way. And then I wanted to show you, since I did end up doing a video, is I made some seals for the back of the card, just to kind of dress it up a little bit. And I use Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I use this stamp from Michael's in probably the $1.50 spot. And so that is, and I know I could do a liner for this, but I'm not going to. I made 8 of these cards and envelopes, and then yesterday I made 16 birthday cards. So I'm just not into liners, and these are going to girlfriends, and they're gonna appreciate this whether I have a liner or not. So I'm not going to do a liner, but these are going to be going off in the mail tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps you for some, if you have a problem like this in the future, you'll remember that you can fiddle with it a little bit and figure out a way to do it. Thanks. Bye.